You think your pans are just tools, but under heat, some turn from harmless to hazardous. Today, I'm auditing 9 common pieces in your kitchen, 5 that can betray you, and 3 that get better the more you use them. Stay to the end so you know exactly what to pull from your cabinet today and what to put back for a safer, stronger kitchen. One swap can change every meal you cook. Number 1. Non-stick pans with scratches. Teflon/PTFE. That silky egg slide feels safe, but one scratch turns a stable film into a weak spot, and heat does the rest. Here's the truth. PTFE holds up at normal temps, then breaks down when you push it hot or damage it. A nick exposes layers, speeds wear, and under high heat, the coating can give off fumes and shed bits. Birds are the early warning. Those fumes can drop them fast, a red flag for your air. Real-world misuse makes it worse. Metal spatulas, empty preheat on high, and dishwashers that rough up the surface. Number 2. Aluminum cookware, uncoated. That light, cheap aluminum pot heats fast. Add tomato sauce or lemon and the metal stops being quiet. Here's the truth. Uncoated aluminum reacts. It forms a thin oxide that helps, but acid and scrubbing strip it like peeling paint. Then food touches raw metal. You taste it when a red sauce turns sharp and a little bitter after a long simmer. Time, heat, and salt push more metal into the meal. The FDA warns that imported metal cookware can leach harmful metals. Their tests mimic real cooking, and acidity and duration raise that risk. Your pan becomes a variable source you can't see. Number 3. Cheap ceramic-coated pans. White and glossy sells clean, but that sheen can fail fast when you hit real heat or cold to hot shocks. Here's the truth. Most ceramic pans use a thin sol-gel coating, sprayed glass-like resin that cures on the metal. It's slick at first, but the film is shallow. Overheating and a cool rinse cause micro-crazing like a dry lake bed. Food grips, you crank the flame, and the glaze breaks down faster. Some budget lines have uneven layers, so high spots gray and rough first. Abrasive pads strip the slick top, and tests show non-stick drops quickly with scouring and high heat. Reputable makers screen for heavy metals and publish certifications. The lowest cost sets often don't. Number 4. Copper cookware without proper lining. Copper looks pro and cooks fast and even. But without a safe lining, the metal meets your food and reacts. Here's the truth. Acid and salt pull copper ions into sauces, stocks, and jams. Long, slow, acidic cooks pull more. Classic copper has a lining, soft tin or bonded stainless, to block contact. When that lining wears thin, scratches, or melts off spots, copper shows through. A greenish cast on the rim or after a wine or tomato cook is a warning sign, like rust on a brake line. Excess copper can trigger nausea, cramps, and a metallic taste when you overdo exposure. Pros keep linings intact and retin on schedule. Bottom line, if you can see copper, stop. Relined or sugar and water only. From metal that leaches to enamel that chips. Different surface, same risk. Number 5. Old or damaged enamel-coated pots. Enamel pots feel timeless, but one chip exposes rough metal that food will find fast. Here's the truth. Enamel is fused glass. Drop the pot, bang a lid, or shock it with cold water while it's hot, and the glass can crack. Those hairlines spread with heat cycles like cracks in a windshield. Where the glass fails, iron can rust and leach, and porous cracks trap sauce, salt, and moisture. That pocket can harbor bacteria and give off flavors on your next cook. Manufacturers warn against long acidic simmers once enamel is damaged. They also advise retiring pieces with exposed base metal. Bottom line, if you feel a ridge or see dark metal, stop using it for soups or braises. We've flagged 5 hazards. Now let's swap them for workhorses. Buy these 3 instead. Here's the fix. 3 materials that don't turn on you when heat rises. You want non-stick ease without the hidden trade-offs. Here's the truth. These win with surface science, not fragile films. Cast iron builds a hard seasoning, thin baked oil layers that self-heal and block rust. Stainless 1810 stays stable and inert when you use sound technique. Carbon steel is the lighter sibling that seasons fast and sears hard. They last decades, not months. You can strip and re-season iron and carbon. Stainless shrugs off high heat and dishwashers. No smoky coatings, no mystery flakes. With preheat, thin oil, and dry storage, sticking drops while flavor goes up. Bottom line, swap 2 weak pans for one of these and you cut exposure and cost. First up, the tank of the kitchen.
Number 6, cast iron, seasoned or enameled.
Heavy, slow to heat, but once it's hot, it stays steady. The surface gets better each week you cook on it. Here's the truth. Seasoning is thin-baked oil that bonds to the iron. Those layers polymerize into a hard film that resists rust and sticks less over time. You sear a steak with a deep crust, roast a chicken with crisp skin, bake cornbread that lifts clean. Trace iron can move into food, higher when you cook acidic dishes, and that's typically fine for most adults. Cast iron laughs at high heat. If you mess it up, you strip, re-season, and keep going. Bottom line, buy a 10 to 12-inch skillet and a Dutch oven.
Number 7, stainless steel, 18/10 grade.
You want pans that won't add flavors or chemicals. Stainless steel 1810 is your baseline workhorse. People say it sticks. That's technique, not chemistry. Here's the truth. 18/10 means chromium and nickel for strong corrosion resistance and shine. Preheat the pan, add a thin film of oil, then the protein. Food releases when the surface and heat match. Tri-ply or 5-ply cores spread heat, so sauces don't scorch and sears stay even. Research shows low reactivity with most foods, strong high heat durability, and easy dishwasher cleanup. There can be minor nickel and chromium migration with long cooks or acidic foods, but it's typically very low. If you have a nickel sensitivity, take caution.
Number 8, carbon steel cookware.
It looks like a pro pan because it is. Carbon steel is lighter than cast iron and tougher than any spray-on coating. Here's the truth. It arrives gray and a little clingy. You have to build the skin. Seasoning forms faster than on cast iron because the steel is thinner, so heat moves quick and bonds oil into a hard layer. That gives you fierce sear, fast stir-fry, and delicate crepes. Once seasoned, it's less reactive and can go stove to oven without flinching. Carbon steel is an iron-carbon alloy that holds shape when the gauge is right, so it resists warping. Seasoning also lowers reactivity over time. Care is simple. Dry fast, oil thin, avoid long acidic cooks early. Bottom line, get a 12-inch fry pan or wok. After 2 or 3 seasonings, eggs slide and sears pop. You've seen the swaps. Now lock the audit. Heat turns the wrong surfaces into chemical sources. Here's the truth. You cut that risk fast when you pull the 5 offenders and switch to the 3 that harden with use. Cast iron, 1810 stainless, and carbon steel. Safer pans, cleaner meals, less money burned on throwaways. Audit your cabinet tonight. Toss scratched nonstick, bare aluminum for acidic cooks, cheap cracked ceramic, bare copper, and chipped enamel. Replace them with 1 cast iron, 1 stainless saucier, and a carbon steel fry pan.